Here I am at Thomas Jefferson's academic village. And it's weird because, for those of you who don't know, Thomas Jefferson was one of the greatest heroes in American history who supported free expression, liberty. But this place feels like a gulag. Why is that? Well, it's not because of the buildings. The buildings are beautiful. Actually, this is one of the rare examples in our current age of really beautiful architecture. Most of this campus is based upon the example set by Athens. It kind of looks like old Germany too, so it's very beautiful. But the people have this ugliness about them. And yeah, the external ugliness is evident, but even worse is the internal expression of ugliness. Of course, those two things are linked. The problem here is that even though we have this framework, this physical framework of liberty, right? We have this shell of liberty. We have this academic village laid out by Thomas Jefferson, great promoter of freedom. It is filled with poison. It is filled with the poison of tyranny. These people who want to eliminate all free speech have total control over social expression. Make sure nobody gets their feelings hurt, except for the ones we don't like. It's okay if they get their feelings hurt, but everyone else, padded cell. That's what the United States is turning into. The rest of the world already is a padded cell. Europe is a padded cell, Asia is a padded cell. The United States is turning into a padded cell, and it's happening quick. See, the problem we have here is that the fundamental values that the United States were built upon have been forgotten. Most people don't understand the history of this country. They don't care about the history of this country. They don't understand the fact that this country was founded by deists, not Bible-believing Christians. Of course, there were some Bible-believing Christians who were at the lower levels of organizing this country. But this country was based upon the idea of free expression and the ability to explore any idea you want to explore. I mean, it's even written into the walls here at this university. The idea that we should have this secular approach within our government, where if you want to be a Christian or a Muslim or a Jew or a Hindu or a Buddhist or a Satanist, whatever, you should be able to freely explore those ideas, right? See, because if you don't have the freedom to explore these ideas, what do you have left? You have violence. That's it. And of course, every civilization is based upon a foundation of violence. But that doesn't mean that we have to live according to violence in every interaction. It doesn't mean that we have to use the arm of the state to control speech, to control what kind of flag you can own, what kind of book you can own, what kind of music you can listen to. If we cultivate an environment where we can openly discuss these ideas, then maybe we can utilize reason and understanding to create space for people to be able to explore art, to be able to explore their dharma. Because you cannot access your dharma, you cannot express yourself, you cannot achieve self-realization unless you have the freedom to pursue these things. And that freedom to pursue your dharma, your very nature, is equal to the amount of taboo in society. In Vamashara, in the left-hand tantra, we eliminate all taboo. We don't recognize taboo. We seek power, and we don't care if the expression of art, and that's what it is, life as art, the expression of art that we represent, we don't care if it offends anyone. You see, if you want a world that is dull and gray, has no gradient whatsoever, no texture, no grit, you can create that. And the way you create that is to cultivate taboo. You have to make people afraid to express color, colorful ideas, colorful expressions in the environment. You have to suck all of that out. It's why, for example, in Soviet countries, all of the buildings are so damn ugly. They're just giant gray masses of nothingness. Because you have to eliminate as much freedom of expression as possible. You have to establish social taboo. You have to make people question themselves, police themselves before they even think about expressing something artistically. If you want to have a society that is dharmic, it must be a free society. It must be a society where if you want to have a swastika flag or a hammer and sickle flag or an upside down cross or a right side up cross, you can have those things. You can have those things and you can use them for whatever artistic purpose you want to use them for. Maybe you have some kind of weird sexual fetish that involves a swastika. Well, you should be able to explore that in a free society, you know? Maybe you like to dress up like a nun, you know, and go dance in the public square. That's fine, you can do that. Or maybe you're extremely conservative and you don't want to do any of these wild, crazy things, and you can do that too. That's fine. The more compassion that we can show to other people, the more freedom that we can grant to other people, the more freedom we can access. You see, that's the thing. These people who are trying to take away freedom of expression and the colorful nature of artistic expression within the cosmos, the damage they do to other people in restricting those expressions, that's going to come back on them. It's especially going to come back on them because most of the people who are promoting the absence of freedom of expression in art are physically weak. They have to rely upon common people who are still strong in their body in order to enforce their ideas. Well, at some point, the common people are going to get sick of being told what they can and can't watch and listen to, and who they can and can't have sex with. They're going to get tired of that. And when that happens, they're going to turn on all of these scrawny intellectuals who are promoting these gulags. And then the whole thing's going to blow up. It's what always happens. See, what people don't understand is that I'm an artist. I surround myself with artists. Everything I do is art. I don't do anything for purely political reasons. I use a lot of controversial symbols. I say a lot of controversial things. Why? Because I'm enjoying the expression as part of the art that I am making, right? If I use a black sun or a swastika or a hammer and sickle or an upside down cross, I'm doing it because it possesses some artistic merit. For me, it's part of my expression. And part of being an American is being free to express yourself in that way. And if we don't stand up and fight to keep that expression, it will be taken away from us. Things are changing. The public square has moved from the physical environment to the digital environment. Social media organizations like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, that is the new public square. And the problem is, the new public square is not governed by the same rules as the physical public square. YouTube, Instagram, these organizations, they are basically governments. They have a lot of power. And see, they don't answer to any sort of constitutional authority because they don't have to. They hide behind the guise of, well, this is my company. I can do whatever I want with my company. Well, it's not that simple. There's a lot of nuance to this. Like I said, these organizations are the new public square, right? So if they tell you you can't say certain words, and I'm not going to say them right now because this video is going to go up on YouTube and I don't want the video taken down, right? And I have a deeper purpose in expressing this. But if you say certain words, your video is going to get taken down. Or if you have a certain flag, like if you have a swastika flag, or, you know, I don't know if you can still put up a North Korean flag or something like that, but whatever it may be, if you put up something like that for whatever purpose, you're going to get removed. You're going to get silenced. They're going to shadow ban you. They're going to restrict the amount of people who are allowed to follow you. They're going to restrict the amount of eyes that can see your work, the amount of ears that can hear your words. That's a problem. That's a major problem. That is a fundamental contradiction of the foundational values, the virtue that fed the beautiful expression, and America has had so much beautiful expression in its history. You think about rock and roll and jazz and country music and all these great poets, all these great painters, artists, filmmakers who have come from this country, where we're going to have less of those. We're going to have far less of those types of people. We already do. The reason why art sucks so much now in the United States for the most part is because freedom of expression is being limited drastically. So if you want to have more quality in the art that's being produced, you want to have more color, more beauty in your life, don't make me your enemy. If you want to take away my freedom of expression, you got to think about the day that it's going to happen to you, because it will. It will happen to everyone. The snake will eat its own tail. So I'm going to continue to utilize controversial images. I'm going to continue to say controversial things. But always remember that I'm an artist. You can't put me in a box. I'm not limited to any sort of political expression. I'm not limited to any sort of ideology in that way. I'm not limited to any sort of dogma and taboo. Okay? And I won't allow this system to put me in a box at any point in time. And if anyone tells you that I'm a Nazi or a communist or a Jew or a Christian or whatever, I'm all these things and none of these things. So you will never pin me down and take away my freedom of expression, because even if you throw me in a prison cell or even if you kill me, I own my soul. And you can't have it.